This is Chelene Winkleman, who is Allison's sister and my stepdaughter. And so I have known Chelene since she was a year old. So you guys got to go in and see her body at the funeral home. And I know that we asked you if you wanted to or not. Did we do the right thing there, or should there have been something different?
I knew I wanted to. So I knew the whole time my answer was going to be yes. And you let us think about it on our way to the place. You're like, we're on our way there. So it is up your choice if you want to see her or not. And I think I asked if I had to go alone, and you said, no, I will go with you. I remember that moment with you, and I don't remember having to think about it much. I had my mind made up when I got home and I didn't see her.
Did we prepare you and say she's not going to look alive or that she's going to be cold? Did we have any of that?
Yeah.
You? Okay.
Yeah, you did. You said she was going to look different, and you kind of described what she looked like. Yeah.
Do you think that it's better for it to be you going in one-on-one with a parent, or the whole family going in? Whoever decides.
One-on-one.
One-on-one. Okay.
One-on-one, for sure. I think it'd be too much with everyone there. I don't think you would be able to absorb it individually as well. But definitely not alone.
Yeah. What was done to support you, like right away, and then in the longer term? And I'm not going to know for a lot of it in the longer term. So what was done to support you as a sister?
That beginning stage of losing her, there's so many people coming to be there for you, and giving people you didn't really thought, not that they didn't care, but just seeing how emotional everyone really was, and knowing how much they were hurting too. Yeah, I don't really remember anyone doing really anything for us, and maybe people did, but I think there was just so much anger and hurt that it's hard to see the good things that people did for you.
In that first month, did you feel like completely isolated and alone in having to work through the grief, or did you even know what you were working through? Like, how did you feel handling this like huge, heavy thing as an 11-year-old?
Yeah, because we shared a room, so even going to bed was hard.
Yeah.
And it's not like she just disappears, all her stuff. It's like she's supposed to be laying there. So you and Dad everyone was so hurt. Home was a mess. Going to my room was hard. Even dinners, she wasn't there. So it's just like, what did we do? How did we get through this?
Did you have anybody, and I will fully own the fact that, like, I can't speak for anybody else, but for myself, like, and I would assume Dad was the same way, like, so engulfed in our own grief that, like, we were doing all we could just to stay afloat. So I know that I didn't show up for you kids. So like, was there anybody that stepped in and did show up, or were you like faced with trying to make sense of all of it?
I think we were just faced to make sense with all of it. It's not like it was a process to lose her, and you kind of were holding your breath the whole time. So it was kind of, you could go, okay, it's, not a relief, but you're not sitting there with the machines on anymore. It's really quiet now. And it's just, but yeah, I think everyone was focused on their own grief. I remember going over to my friend's house and having to escape there. But even all of them were like, they felt really bad for me. So it was, everyone knew, and there was no escaping what happened. So,
Do you wish that you had had an opportunity to escape? Like that some, like one of our adult friends had like whisked you away to go to Wild Waves or.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Um, that would be something I remember, because right now I don't remember anything. So give me something good to remember and I'll remember that.
Yeah.
So something that, you don't have to say, we're going to forget her. Just let's have something fun, let's stop being so sad, and
Let you be a kid for a couple hours.
yeah, and you almost felt bad to be a kid, felt like, why am I smiling? So, but yeah, I don't remember a lot, and not to say nobody did step in, but I don't remember a big somebody that made a difference in that time.
To make sure that you take out the siblings and do stuff with them.
Hmm.
That's good.
It is so hard. It's so painful for all of us. And in that moment, you're not wanting to go to Wild Waves.
Yeah.
Someone said that, I'd be like, "What? You're crazy. We're not happy." So, it's just
Like after that first month, what did support look like or not look like?
we got a new house. So it was really exciting to, pick your own paint, do, have something else to go on to, and a project. So that was, we did it as a family. So that was really, really fun.
I also wanted to ask you, since you did share a room with her and her stuff was in there, um, how was it handled? The stuff that was in your room that was hers, and how would you like it to have been handled?
She had so much stuff. Um, she, and we shared everything. So it was kind of like her stuff was my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But except for her clothes, I don't remember when everything was moved out or how it was taken. It was just like, I don't think anyone put me in there and was like, okay, which one of these things is special to you? I think somebody just went in and said, this is special, this is special, this is special, this is special. All this other stuff can go.
Wow.
So I never got my pick of this is special. So, but there's things that I'm like, I hope that those things were saved. And, but I don't think us kids ever got a chance to, and we weren't even like, I don't think we're at the age where we could want to take care of these things. So someone like you would have to come in and be like, I will hold these for you. No, I don't think we ever got a chance to say what we wanted. But I'm not mad at what I don't have. I have a lot of things from her. And like I have this stingray necklace. I'm not wearing it now. But I have, things that you held on to for me, like my earrings.
Mm-hmm.
Those are, I have some very special things from her, and maybe I don't have a few knickknacks that I would have picked out, but to have that choice,
You should have that choice. Like all three of you, like even though they're brothers and they're guys, like Josh and Spencer should have had that opportunity too, to like be able to pick out things that were meaningful. Cause like as a parent, you don't know necessarily what's meaningful.
her side of the room stayed like that until you came in and did something. I didn't touch anything. I didn't, it was there. The hard part is, you don't want to touch it. It's like, it's hard to touch it. So even me, and I wanted to play with it still, was like, this is too important to touch. So then having everyone come in and touch it and give it away was like, it was nice having it gone, but it was also like, now it's gone.
Should we have said, like, because you were still a kid and could play with the thing, should we have specifically said, hey, play with these things? Allison would want you to play with these things. Should we have given you that kind of permission to do that?
Yeah, definitely. Um, because you kind of just want to keep it in a box and not touch it. So,
What could have been done to provide you with more support in being a sister, dealing with the grief, like 6 months later, a year later, in the long term?
yeah, I I think I had a school counselor talk to me. And I think at that point you just kind of pretend like everything's okay and you tell them what they want to hear to make you seem like everything's okay and that you're not going crazy. Someone, that you're not just that can talk to you and understand what you're going through and tell you what your feelings are doing to you or through those emotions would have been nice on a professional level,
Mhm.
instead of just friends and family around you. And that was amazing too.
Having a professional that isn't impacted by the situation, because like when it's friends and family, they're impacted by it too, not at in the same way or the same level
Yeah.
necessarily, but they're impacted. So having a safe person that
And
you
then
could just
having to do it. As a kid, I don't want to sit down and talk to this
Mhm.
person. I would just make it a thing. You got to do this. I'm sorry, but this is a once a month thing that you have to do for
Mhm.
probably 2 years or more, depending on, the situation. What all of us kids needed was just a different person, just different perspective, a professional
Yeah.
telling us how to how things are happening.
Well, and to provide not even just to like, yes, they can tell you some things, but then also to sit and listen and just hold space for you with like no judgment, no tie to it,
Hmm.
just a safe space to. Did you feel like there's any place that you could just like vomit what you were feeling and going through?
Not really. Not really. Just because everyone knew what had happened and everyone, knew how everything fell apart. So it was like, what am I going to tell you that you don't already know? So you couldn't have a fresh conversation with anyone. Being that young, you don't meet anyone to just talk to.
Right.
But you don't realize what you have until it's gone. And even with losing Allison, you don't realize what you have until she's gone. And there's no sidekick anymore, and there's no plays, and it's all gone.
Um, we talked about friends, like what did or didn't you tell friends at school? Like, is there anything else significant that you feel like would be helpful to share on that piece? If there's not, it's no big deal.
I liked talking about Allison, and I liked sharing my relationship with everyone that me and her had, because I also wanted them to know, what I've been through. This is part of me now, and my close friends, they knew how to process that with me. So, um, but even my teachers, they would reach out, and I like talking about her. So it was nice for me too, and I'm glad that I did talk about her to people, because it just gave me more of a feeling that she was always there.
Do you feel like you had to grow up a lot faster because of all of this?
Yes. Well, and with having so many people come in and out of your life, you you just realize a lot that's going on around you, and to to have these adult conversations with people as such a young age, you're just like, okay, not saying I wasn't able to be a kid still. I still was a kid, but growing up faster, definitely.
As a mother now, if you were in the position of having children and one of which was sick and eventually died, how would you deal with it?
One of the greatest thing that I would say is to have a relationship with the Lord. Have a place for you guys all to have hope and support too. Um, I would work on, so in every relationship you have a foundation, and I would put foundation around the foundation. I would support that through it all. And as much as I can, I need my other half. And knowing how much a loss can take away from a family, um, you need that to be a working, functional piece in your family. So that would be another huge whatever I needed to do. I would focus on my relationship. Grief is a terrible, terrible feeling, and it lasts forever. And so to have some way to feel this grief, and but not forget the grief, not walk away from it, but to feel this grief work through you. Um, that's important, and I would find a way to do that. Not to be cliche, but what you're doing, I think, is changing people's lives. And the way I wish that my family had what you're doing for these families. Because I want to go on vacation and mourn my loss. What you can do: read a book, be by the water, go in a boat. But just be in a different environment, because going back into your room and sitting there looking over at her bed is like, I don't want to be here. It's just, how do you handle it as a tribe? And how big is your tribe? Are your village? Who's you need to make sure that everyone around you is strong and supportive and not gonna knock you down, but pure. Keep it how strong your foundation is. You grow that foundation stronger and stronger with each person, and don't let somebody that's going to tear you down in. And if they do, kick them out right away.
Only hold close and hold dear and allow in the people that are strong supporters.
And even if people reach in, because people will reach out and say, I'm so sorry, or that doesn't make them your best friend. That doesn't make them a part of your foundation. It just makes them there.
That's everything that I had, and we've been talking forever. But is there anything that we didn't cover that you feel like people should?
I feel like I explained it before, though. With the attention thing, is never feel bad to give these kids attention, or to not give a kid attention. Even after grief, after you lose the child, I almost felt like people were scared to talk to me. And if you could just, I know it's so hard, but if you could just have a one-on-one conversation with this kid, and it doesn't have to be how do you feel? How is this? It's just, let's break out some Play-Doh and just see where this conversation goes. And maybe hint to, well, how is your room? And then they'll say, my room's different now. And then have them lead the conversation with what they want to talk about. But don't be afraid to sit down with these kids and talk with them, because they do want to talk and they need to talk. And to have a relationship with somebody, even if I'm a parent and I cannot do it, I am hurt, I'm broken. How am I supposed to have this constructed conversation nonchalantly with a kid? Maybe ask somebody, just somebody that you trust completely, to have that has a connection with the kid already, and to be a little fly on the wall and be like, hey, I'm here. But take that time with that kid, and take the emotion that they give you, and understand it, and then try to help them. because they need it. They need somebody, and their parents are broken. So help help them communicate these feelings that are going on.
I love that. Love
Because
that. That's great.
you can't expect mom and dad to know how to help a kid to grieve,
Yeah.
because they're everyone's grieving, even grandma and grandpa, even the
Yeah.
friend. It's a how do we help all of them? And I think that the
Exactly.
kids get overlooked in that situation because
Mhm.
the parents are going through so much. So it's been fun remembering Allison, and I enjoy talking about her, and I love the stories, and I love um, the sadness too. So
It's so nice to be able to sit and chat and like it just be like a normal thing to share stories and not have to be some
mhm,
big deal. So yeah, I really
yeah.
enjoyed it too.